Hey there, welcome to Technocraft Academy. My name is Timson. The last class we delved into the concept of OOP. We gave definitions of what OOP is and what it stands for, its uses and stuff. So then we delved into understanding the key concepts of OOP, where we defined class, objects, encapsulations, inheritance, and polymorphism and abstractions. We also gave key concepts to note on Python classes. So now in this series, we are going to be having or trying to get acquainted to the code walkthrough of how to depict each of these key concepts and key points, how it looks like in code. So um, without dwelling much on these, let's quickly move to our executable files, which is mine is new OOP class.py. So we're gonna be demoing some concepts here using what we've known and what we've defined in the past. If you can remember, I said pretty much anything can be your class. You understand? A class can be pretty much anything whatsoever thing you conceived in your mind, and that thing has um, a physical manifestation. Let's say a building. You conceived a building in your mind. You create an architectural design of it, and of course, it has a physical manifestation. So, because you have conceived it in your mind, it's still a blueprint. So, it's still in the class form. So, the moment you erect the building, that becomes an object. So how do we demo this? Let's use something else. Anything can be your class. Let's say I want to use, you can have your computer can be your class, your notebooks, your keyboard, whatsoever thing can be. Animals can be your class, your persons and stuff. Even your data types, string, integers, list, whatsoever thing that has a physical or a kind of representational entity can be your class. So let's say, for example, I want to use an animal. What animal can we think of? Cat, dog. Okay, let's go with dog. So let's say we have um, class dog. So take a look at this. First of all, I create a class keyword, which is this. I created a class keyword. Then secondly, of course, I created an identifier. An identifier. What does the identifier mean? The identifier specifies the name of my class. So it now follows by what? A column. Sorry, excuse me. It follows by a column. You understand? And of course, let me put a pass keyword. We have nothing yet to do. If I don't put a pass keyword, Python will get annoyed, and it will start introducing some squiggly um, error lines to depict something is wrong. So by putting pass keyword, I'm trying to tell Python to exempt any form of error for now, because I'm still coming back to uh, write the complete the code. So it's just like taking permission for Python not to start showing squiggly lines, or for your IDE to stop showing squiggly line. So we all know what pass keyword is at this stage in Python programming. So by and large, this is a class definition. Creating by writing what a class keyword, then what giving the name of your class, which is your class identifier. So in this case, I have dog as the name of my class. You understand? So we have created a class, and the class name dog, using the keyword, the class keyword. So now we're gonna be moving towards understanding what an object is. I told you whatsoever it has a physical manifestation, the physical manifestation of or the representational entity of a class is an object. You understand? So an object is an instance of a class. Do you understand? So that is that. So the object is just like an entity that has a state and behavior associated with it. So it may be any real world object, like, say, like I said before, keyboard, chair, table, pen, notebooks, data types like floating point numbers, and even arrays, dictionaries, and all other data types that are all objects. The number 18 is an object. You understand? The string hello world is an object. A list is an object that can hold any other objects, and so on and so forth. So an object consists of several other things. I think I put a note here. Yeah, let me see. Let me scroll down. Okay. An object consists of the following: it has a state, it has behavior, and it has identity. So what are these things? By state, we mean it is represented by the attribute of an object. You understand? It also reflects the property of an object by state. Then, when I say behavior, what does that mean? We mean that a class is represented by the methods of an object. You understand? I mean, sorry, it is represented by the method of an object. It also reflects the response of an object to the other object. Then, by identity, we mean it gives a unique name to an object and enables one object to interact with the other object. So, in order for us to understand the state, behavior, identity, I have just created a class, which is we're going to be demoing a class. I'm demoing this using a class named dog. You understand? To explain this concept of uh, the identity, I mean, the state, the identity, and the behavior. So, here, the identity is considered to be the name of the dog, and the state, this name of the dog, and the state or attribute can be considered as the we can say the breed name, the breed, we can say anything, the age, the color, whatever thing that the dog may have, what the dog may possess. Then the behavior can be considered as to whether the dog is aggressive or is friendly. You understand? So creating an object, we by creating an object, we are going to create a kind of creating an object simply means um, putting a class inside a variable. So we're going to be seeing that in practical and see how it looks like. So first of all, um, let's let me explain what creating an object is. By creating an object, you can name your object pretty much anything you think fit, but don't make sure not to use the keyword Python keyword. So when you name an object of the class dog, let's say, yeah, I want to name my object. Let's say um I want to say name of dog. Example, I can say name of dog, and I say dog. You understand? So I've created an object. But it's as simple as that. You understand? So this name of dog here is an object because what it is used to what to initialize. The moment I initialize the class dog, I have created an object. The object is now what instantiating a class. You understand? So that is that about creating an object. So there are some other things that are we're gonna be hearing along the line. The like the Python self. I think I put it here, the Python self keyword. The Python self, it's not a keyword though. The Python self, it's a parameter, a compulsory parameter that must be in the that most times must be in in the initialized method, in the init method. Then of course this Python init method. So these are the thing we're gonna be coming across with frequently. So I feel it is important for me to explain what it is. What is Python self? The class method must have an extra first parameter in the method definition. So we do not give value for this parameter though. So when we call the method, Python provides it. You understand? So two, if we have a method that takes no argument, then we still have to have one argument, which is the self argument. Then this self is similar to this pointer in C++ and this reference in Java. For those of you that are coming from that background. So when we call a method of this object, say for example my object method then takes argument say arg1 and arg2, this is automatically converted by Python into my class dot method, my object comma arg1 and arg2. So this is all the special what the special self is all about. You understand? Then what about the init method? The init method is similar to the constructor in C++ and Java. So it is run as an object of a class and is instantiated. You understand? So the method is useful to do any form of initialization you want to do with your object. So let's us define a class and create some object using the init method. So maybe that we sync well. So let's use what we've been using though. So I'm going to be using a dog. So let me clean this off for now. Let me remove this pass keyword. So mind you, after the colon, there comes the next line is indented. You understand? So there we're gonna be creating a class attribute. I told you what a class attribute is. So we're gonna be creating a class attribute. We're gonna be creating a class attribute. We can name it. We can say breed equals say Rottweiler. Rottweiler. We can say breed equals Rottweiler. Then we also can create instance attribute. You understand? Instance attribute. So yeah, we're gonna be creating where the init method. We're gonna be creating the init method, which is dunda dunda init dunda dunda. Uh, so it's gonna be taking the self parameter. Self parameter. We can say name. What else can we have? Can dog have color? Of course. So we can say yeah. We can say sorry. It comes. So say self dot name equals name. Then we can say self dot color, yeah, equals color. You understand? So of course you have created the class attribute. You have also created what the instance attribute. And mind you, this self can be pretty much anything. It can be, I can say something. So yeah, I'm going to say Timson dot name equals name. Yeah, you can say Timson dot name dot color equals color. You understand? But of course, your code as a programmer must be able to be understood by other programmers. That is one of the reasons for collaboration. So you understand. So for collaboration's sake, we're gonna be following the convention, and the convention is that you use the self keyword or the self parameter rather than creating your custom parameter. Mhm. Self parameter. So that's that. You understand? So now we're gonna be creating instantiating an object. You understand? By creating an object. So understand. So by instantiating an object, we are going to move. Let me write uh instantiating an object. Instantiating an object. So yeah, we're gonna be saying what can we say here? Let's say name our dog has a name. So what's the name of our dog? Let's say name of dog name of dog. So what is the name of dog? The name of dog is what? Say uh, so we're gonna be passing an argument of the name of dog. So the name of dog, let's say Kizzy. Then the color of the dog, we can say we don't need this. Sorry, excuse me. So the name of dog it says, and the second argument, which is the color of the dog, or we can say, or let's say identity of the dog. Let's say identity. Um, let's say the ID of the dog, or the identity of dog. Okay. So identity of dog. Here we have the first argument is being passed, which is the name of the dog, which is name. The second argument is gonna be um, let's say the color. So here we're gonna be having say black and tan. You understand? So we have passed the what two argument. And I told you, remember, that the self parameter, sorry, does not have argument. Argument is not passed to it. So how do we now access this class attribute. Of course, we declare a class attribute here. You understand? So how do we access it? And how do we access this instance attribute? So let's see how we can access that. So access the class attribute. Access the class attribute. So how do we access that? Let's say we want to print um say uh you can say the breed of the dog, um of um the breed of say um the breed of uh, let's say, okay, the breed of the dog, really namespace here. You can use an F string. So I'm going using the old school way. You can use an F string dot format, say Roger, sorry, excuse me, dot format, we can say um we can say I identity of the dog dot um under class. Don't worry, I'm going to be explaining this dot breed. Let me use a word wrap here so that I will come in a new line. Yeah. So the breed of the here we're trying to access the class attribute. So we said the breed of the dog created a namespace. You understand? Dot format identity of the dog. This is the object. You understand? So the object is now what um used against the class, so as for us to be then dot the attribute. We are calling we are making the object, we are mapping the object with the class. You understand? The blueprint, we are also mapping it with what the class attribute, so as for us to have access to the what class attribute. That is just it. So by doing that, we will have the access to the class attribute. So the next one is we accessing the instance attribute. We have accessed the class attribute. So how do we now access the instance as attribute? So by doing this, let's say access the attribute, the instance attribute, access the instance attribute. So we can do this by printing print print um and print dog name is we can print the dog name is create namespace dot format say dot format identity of the dog dot name, so that we can have this self dot name. So by putting dot name, whatsoever value that is being passed, or whatsoever argument that is being passed to this parameter here, will be what accessed. You understand? Then we can as well say, let's also print uh let's also print the color of the dog is create a dynamic namespace there for format uh dot format um identity of the dog identity of dog dot color. So whatsoever value that is being passed to this color, which is this, whatsoever attribute that is being passed to the parameter color, it will be accessed here. So if you run this, it should give us what we are in. Let me create something here. Let me go to view. Let me go to appearance, editorial, appearance, panel position. So right. So so that I can have it so that you can see everything. Yeah. So let's run it. Let me collapse this. Yes. Let me have a more space here. Okay. By running these, let's see what we have. Sorry. Okay. So by running these, we have the breed of the dog Rottweiler. Sorry, I missed is there. The breed of the dog Rottweiler. So by this, we are having access to the class attributes. This Rottweiler. Then the second print statement, the dog name is that is here. We have successfully accessed the class attribute, which is Rottweiler. You understand? Then yeah, we are trying to access the instance attribute. So the dog name is Kizzy. The dog name is what? Kizzy. Then yeah, the color, which is the color of the dog, is black and tan. So this is just what it is. This is just what it is. This is OOP. We've started with OOP, but we are gonna be diving deep. But we are trying to move from we are going trying to go from ground up so that every details will not be missed and everything will be explained. You understand? We want to assume all of us are novice. So by going from ground up, we are going to uh gain more understanding than just doing something out of the box. So in our next class, in our next series, I'm going to be creating a much more meaningful concept, or I'm making use of a much more meaningful um, uh, class modeling. You understand? So thank you for your time. Peace.